Alright guys, Hatchcom here today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Big reveal from Shotzzy confirming it seems that Uplink will indeed be returning to Black Ops 7. Big questions about whether Control should have continued over the last few years, even over the last couple of games. We've wondered whether that was really the best mode. Shotzzy says as far as he is aware, Uplink is for sure going to be not only a mode in Black Ops 7, but the intended competitive mode it seems for the upcoming season. Is it going to work? Formal has some thoughts on that. Also some big drama on the state of even Black Ops 6, because not gonna lie, the season's over. The game's somehow broken again. Ghosty's not happy about it. Zuma's not happy about it. Plenty to get into. Very much into your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new. As always, no opportunity will be wasted to show a disgusting clip from Black Ops 3. Here we are on Redwood Search and Destroy, and this is TJ Halley with an absolutely insane clutch. Like, this is genuinely bonkers. And like, he gets the first kill, he picks up the second. It's a 2 versus 2, and then it's a 1v. Actually, no, it's not a clutch technically because it was just a 4-piece. But look, whatever. It doesn't take anything away from this. I will say, I don't know if you guys agree with this, Black Ops 4 was a good looking game. I don't think there's been a game since then that has looked as good as this. This game is 10 years old and it looks better than any of the CODs in the last 10 years. Am I wrong about that? What do you guys think? Modern Warfare 19? No. Cold War? No. Modern Warfare 2 or Vanguard? Anyway, doesn't matter. No. MW3? MW3 wasn't bad. MW3 wasn't bad. Black Ops 6 still can't hold a candle to BO3. I know that I do talk about it a lot, but like, come on. This game is 10 years old this year, and it's still a better looking game than anything that we've had in COD since then. As I say, maybe BO4, maybe you can argue another game or two, but still, I mean, this is just absolutely disgusting. And he picks up the final kill into Kremp for the 4-piece. So there you go. And it wasn't like this is against bums either, right? Like, I'll just read out the kill feed real quick who he was playing against. So he kills Blast, Drazah, Vivid, and Kremp. That was the other team. So pretty disgusting 4-piece. Now, this is another interesting update. We saw the other day that the Call of Duty movie is apparently going to be happening. Now, what this means, how they're going to do it, Paramount Pictures. So they've given the rights to Paramount. The same people that did the Halo thing that was, I've not watched it, apparently it was terrible. Now, Steven Spielberg, who if you don't know, I mean you probably will, rather well-known director and produced a boatload of sensational movies over the years. Look, not everyone might be the biggest Steven Spielberg fan, but if Spielberg, one of the biggest names in directing, comes along and says, hey, I want to do your movie, you kind of want to give it to him, right? But Activision, they don't believe it this clearly. So Spielberg, it's Spielberg by the way, he wanted full control. He was like, look, this is I want to do the project, I want full control of how the movie works, the top and bottom of it, the way the marketing is going to go and all this. And on some level, Activision could have just been like, and look, there's obviously some risk involved in handing over all of the power in that regard if you're Activision, if you're Microsoft. Maybe it's understandable that they would be concerned, but also it is Steven Spielberg, right? And also it takes the things of Activision's plate. It's like, great, I'll get Spielberg to do my movie for me. You know, it's probably going to end up pretty well. But instead, they didn't want that. They got a bit scared, and instead they've made the deal with Paramount. So it is kind of, I don't know what you guys think about this. I know there was talk here that, oh, Spielberg's a gamer and he plays COD. Look, maybe he does, but, you know, everyone says that, don't they, right? The guy's in his 70s or whatever now. But when a guy with Spielberg's resume wants to do your film, it's definitely us as COD fans. It's like, well, you know, would have been interesting to see what it had done with the project, right? It's probably going to be a worse product for not having Spielberg involved, let's be honest. So anyway, that's the COD movie stuff. It's not strictly relevant to competitive, but it's still interesting nonetheless in terms of where COD is and where it essentially is going. Now, Black Ops 7, few interesting things to mention here. One of the top guys at Treyarch mentions the wall bouncing feature. So not exactly wall running, but the wall jumping mechanic that's in the game. Now, if you guys remember, let's say you are playing at Black Ops 3, again, and you are on Fringe, you are on the track side, you're bouncing pretty much left and right across the sides of the tracks. That's something that you could do even without the jetpacks, especially if walls are close enough together. You could just wall bounce and it would give you a lot of momentum. So they want to make sure that isn't quite the case in this game. The advanced movement will be a thing, but they don't want it to go too crazy. So he basically says that once you wall jump off a single wall, if you then chain it into a second wall, you can, and you can even bounce off a third wall as well. And there will be certain parts of maps designed with this in mind, but the second and the third jump will actually reduce your momentum somewhat, so by the time you get to the fourth wall, it's not going to be possible. So yeah, pretty interesting. It means that the movement is going to be advanced to some extent, but probably not completely game-breaking. I think that's the intention anyway of what they're going for here, but in Twitter your thoughts in the comments. I'll share that clip here in a second. The other thing that's going on is 100 Thieves. Now, we know that Nadeshot took a pay cut to get the 100 Thieves guys paid, the LA Thieves guys, right? Now, of course, the way that the money is kind of working over there, who owns what, the way that, you know, the investors or whatever are putting the funds in, who really knows exactly where the funds are coming from, but Nadeshot said that he took like a $200,000 pay cut to make sure that Scrap and HyDra could get the bag that they needed and the facility they needed to make sure they didn't go to Gentlemates, which was a serious possibility last off-season. So the question with Thieves even this off-season was, do they really have the bread to do something substantial? If Falcons come along with an insane bag for Scrap, will they have to take it, right? And in the same way that, you know, well, let's say Thieves, the most recent season, before they formed the super team or whatever, they took a year off in a way. They took a year of a more budget approach, and it seemed to work out for them because a year later they had the cash to go and get Scrap, to go and get HyDra, as we say. This off-season, we think they've gone and got aBeZy, which is a pretty big scalp to get, especially buying him out of the FaZe contract, but also they may have sold Ghosty in exchange, not to that team, but to Gentlemates, we think. So, you know, the bottom line might work. The reality is they're still paying these guys a lot of money, and there are questions about whether that's super sustainable in the longer term, just because some of these organizations can afford that money. Let's say Falcons, it's a no-brainer, but other organizations, if they continue having salaries at that type of level, it might potentially cause issues. Now, Logan has been around 100 Thieves for ages. As he says, like, he literally was around since 2018 when they were founded. Now, technically, they had a team in Black Ops 3, if you guys remember, when they had the prison jerseys, but with Aches and that. But they really arrived a couple of years after that, of course. But, you know, he's been around this organization for the whole time it's been around, and he's officially now been let go. And this happens at the same time, as Jake Hale says, right? Like, not sure how many have been affected, but it looks like layoffs at 100 Thieves, and maybe we'll see more in due course about that. And then at the same time, we've got Nadeshot signing this new, like, Rubek contract or whatever. So, look, I don't know exactly where it puts the organization, but I think there is some debate as to whether the salaries they're paying are like, yeah, okay, 100 Thieves and Nadeshot are different entities to LA Thieves, but there is some relevance here because Nadeshot said that he took a pay cut to make that happen on Thieves. So look, it's different money pots, but there's still some relevance there. Thought I'd mention it anyway. The game's broken. Again, congratulations to the developers, because we've had a whole season of competitive Call of Duty, and thankfully it's over. But they broke the ninja perk, and loads of you guys were saying that there's so many other issues with the game. You try and load up, and either the game isn't downloaded anymore, or you can't get into a game, or the minimap doesn't work, or they've done something with their patch update to completely break the game. So Ghosty says, like, I can't play COD in September? Like, what are you talking about, right? The game launched in November last year, whatever it was, end of October, start of November, and you're telling me that pretty much the whole game's life cycle is over and now the game is broken. And as Ghosty says, like, I'm just trying to log in and get slammed by some hackers. I can't even do that. So, and also it's been affecting, unfortunately, the Zuma World Cup, which is really unfortunate because, you know, Tomasi Zuma tried his best to get all the players to agree to certain dates that he could do it. And unfortunately, the game is broken. So he's saying hopefully we can find a date to continue it at some point going forward. So certainly hoping that is the case, but definitely wanted to share a couple of moments here. Well, one big moment really from the Game Chat episode, because Shotzzy reveals that Uplink is back. Now, this has been a big question. I remember I mentioned this on the Breaking Point Awards a couple of weeks back to say that, you know, could this be the final Control Player of the Year awards? Is the game mode going to disappear? I had no intel, but just a presumption that people are kind of fed up with it. So Shotzzy says Uplink is going to be back.
Can I chain wall jumps? Yes, you can. Right now we have it capped at 3 wall jumps. But to be a little more specific, on that second and third jump, you're going to lose a little bit of momentum. So that first one's going to be powerful, and then you'll lose a little bit of momentum on that second and third one. We want to make sure that people honestly aren't ping-ponging around the maps. We do have some really cool opportunities built into our maps, some of which you'll play in the beta. All that said, we're looking forward to getting this out into beta, into your hands, and then hearing your feedback, and then we'll go from there.
What do you think of Black Ops 7? Have you guys seen like any of the videos or anything? I mean, there's just that one trailer, right?
Yeah.
It looks good. Looks like fucking. I don't know if I would say it looks like Black Ops 3 or something, like with the wall bouncing, but I mean, it looks fun.
Yeah, it does.
Looks really fun.
Looks fire.
Yeah.
You think it looks good?
No, it does. I mean, the uplink is like the biggest question mark for me, but because like I don't know how that's even gonna work.
Did they like say that's actually back?
Yeah, it's like officially back. Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone has said it, but like from what I've heard in the grapevine or
like,
whatever.
there's no control. Like no control anymore.
Yeah, no control. There shouldn't be control. All I know is that like there's uplink 1,000,000%, and I just don't know how that's gonna work because like there was a trailer like one of the guys just super bouncing, and everyone thought like, oh, it was probably just like a perk or a specialist, but
That was campaign mode.
that was only campaign. Yeah,
Wait, super bouncing?
yeah,
What was that?
like double jump, like really high.
I was thinking like the Halo 2 shit.
Yeah.
yeah. Bro, that would be lit. Imagine fucking specific spots. That'd actually be insane. But yeah, we're so because what fucking last time you guys played Uplink Boots was Gridiron.
Yeah,
I don't
that shit
know.
was fucking hilarious.
I don't know how that was, but
You could
everyone
chuck it over
says-
the whole map.
You could chuck it in the
You
whole
could
map.
grab it on London Docks and like score. Like from the spawn point, you could chuck it over the building.
Oh, wait, shows? Holy fuck. Wait, the first bounce is
Nah,
insane.
that's like not what I remember at all. Well, that kind of is.
I feel like that would
I
actually
feel like
be
you're just getting wall banged like, across the map. Like, what the fuck? I'm dead. The ball, get the ball.
Launch it, bro. Look at that shit.
Damn.
Bro, you can launch it.
You know, it's because you jumped to the, that's actually fucking insane. Was there a team that was actually like insane at this shit or not?
No, we only played it for like a week.
Is Uplink going to play well? That's one of the key questions. As Formal went on to talk about, before Shotzzy was playing back in World War II when that game mode Gridiron was around. And as you can see by some of those clips on London Docks, I think there is a bit of a concern that the game will be played in that way. Like when there's jetpacks in Uplink, getting a 2-point play is more achievable because you can slide, you can jump, you can wall run, you can double dash or whatever, right? Like these were all the features that were a thing in Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare before that. When Gridiron was tested in World War II, I think there were a lot of, and not like you couldn't do a 2-point play, run into the portal, but there were a lot of, okay, run here, do a lineup and just throw it. And some of the lineup throws might be coming down from such a trajectory that it's impossible to intercept them without maybe a little wall there that you can hit a wall bounce. So, yeah, I'm just intrigued to see how this really plays out in reality. It does seem like Uplink's going to be back. Is it going to be as good as it was in the jetpack era? If it's like 90% as good, if it's 80% as good, it's still way better than what Control is, I think. So I still think it's a good thing, but I do think they're going to have a lot of thought about how they approach this if they want to make Uplink anywhere near as good as it used to be. But very much interested in your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I think this is where my lip bite shit came out. I think this started it. I don't know. I don't know why I started doing this shit. I actually don't know why. I think he loses series. I think. Yo, what are the odds that they actually did that, dude? Like, they put it directly in the middle. They showed my POV, or my reaction, and Ken's reaction. Hey, W production, low-key. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's what started the whole lip bite thing, is when I did that against Ken. And it was kind of just like in the moment. I didn't really think of it. But yeah. And then I ended up teaming with him the following year. Maybe 2. Yeah. So, hey, it was meant to be.